What up, collective, and welcome to another channel podcast. This one is on Channing Nicole Larry, aka Enchanting. She was an American rapper from Fort Worth, Texas, known for her trap and blues style and work with Gucci Mane's 1017 record label. She passed away in June 2024 at the age of 26. Enchanting began pursuing music in her late teens after initially working as a hairstylist and nail technician. She gained significant recognition after signing with Gucci Mane's 1017 Records in 2020, becoming the only woman on the label at one point. Wow. Her notable releases and collaborations include Monday, No Love, Love Scarred, Track and Field, He Can't Be Reached. Enchanting died on June 11, 2024 at Baylor University Medical Center in Dallas, Texas. She was rushed to the intensive care unit following a heart attack and subsequently removed from life support. The Dallas County Medical Examiner's Office determined her death was accidental, caused by the toxic effects of oxycodone and benzodiazepines. I know y'all be like, girl, can you read? Benzodiazepines, okay, drugs. A representative mentioned she was attempting to get clean from a drug addiction in the days leading up to her death. And I had never known about her music prior to a new tribe member actually leaving a comment and asking me if I could look into her case, and I got a yes. I was supposed to do Iman, who was a TikToker, and I guess she had, taken her own life. But when I checked on her, she was like, she's okay now. She would rather me channel Enchanting. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to see what comes up surrounding her energy. Let me just go back to... Another thing that was standing out to me is she was close with another rapper, Big Scar, who also passed away from drug addiction. I'm hearing nobody really killed me, but the industry was cutthroat. So I feel, had she have not passed away from drug addiction, somebody was going to set her up anyway, because somebody had issues with her. Somebody had issues with the fact that I'm hearing left them. I don't know, I'm hearing left them for dead, or that's how she felt by certain people, because I feel like people around her knew that she was crying out for help, but nobody really took it seriously. So she is making me feel like this was, She is making me feel like this was a genuine overdose. Not like a hot shot, not like somebody trying to take her life, not sacrificial. I feel like everybody around her, in the label at least, was excited to see what she brought to the table. She is speaking highly about Gucci and his wife and them making sure that she was taken care of, them making sure that she was well fed. But I am hearing more money, more problems. So I think that she did intend to get sober wholeheartedly, but it's kind of like just one night of a bad choice. That's how she's making me feel. She had a plug that she hit up, and this person supplied her with a lot that night. And she was like, damn, what am I going to do with all this? Like, I need to finish it. Okay. That was like her mindset. I need to finish it. And she was kind of taking me to a time where one time I don't even really do coke like that. Okay. But one time, I was given a bag. Okay. And, not me knowing, I didn't know how to take it. So I was just kind of just snorting every 30 minutes and just taking it. And I felt like my heart was really feeling like it could explode out of my chest. And I had to really keep myself calm. I was praying. And I feel like she was kind of doing something similar where she took something and she was like, oh my God. She was like, I'm about to die. Okay, that's like how her thought form is. I'm about to pass away. And the reason that she was using so much was because of something tied to the pressures of being out there, okay? The lifestyle was super hard for her to manage as somebody who already had issues with certain drugs. It was super hard for her to manage. But one thing she is saying is that there's no conspiracy surrounding it. Well, the conspiracy, I'm not sure if there's something out there where they're trying to say that somebody laced her. So let's look into that. There is kind of a little bit of a sinister energy with who gives her the drugs. I feel like this person is connected or tied to the label. Like they have to strictly go through this person to get it, so that none of them gets into trouble or something like that. And I'm seeing like cocktails of different like things that they can buy. And it's just like a kid in a candy store. I'm hearing it's like a kid in a candy store for her and this person, Scar, because they both live a lifestyle together. But the reason that I feel like this is sinister is because somebody sells to her knowing that she's trying to get clean, knowing that she's trying to change. And I tell this story all the time, but I'm so thankful for, the person who, when they would give me stuff like that, if they saw me coming back over and over and over again, one time they literally told me, I cannot sell this to you anymore. I do not want to see you go down that path. And he was the only person I could get it from. So I was not about to be out here looking for it. But she's saying she wished that people looked out for her a little more in that sense, because as I said, somebody knew that she was trying to get clean, and they were so more focused on, I think also she was drinking or something. So she wasn't completely sober. Okay, that's the confirmation. She wasn't in the right mindset when she got the drugs or something, when she got another haul of something. Yeah. So yes, it was accidental in that sense. Yeah. And I feel her higher self is kind of watching her as she's taking all of these things, and they're preparing her to transition. Because I feel like she's fading in and out of consciousness. I'm not sure if there were people there when she was passing over, because I'm seeing like 3 people looking over her. This could be the ambulance people. She could see that. Okay, she was like fading in and out of consciousness. She was just like happy to go. Okay, because I do feel like the pressure, okay, the pressures that she felt, there was a lot of like gossip between her and other people, 3 other people in the label. Maybe other women felt like competitive towards her if they joined the label after her. And I'm seeing her just being a really sweet girl. But she definitely could be a little messy, okay? She could be a little gossipy. She could I'm hearing she could talk up a good game, okay? But she was small, okay? So, like I said, beefs could have transpired anyway, because there was somebody who was already targeting her. So she relapses a little bit due to evil eye, a little bit, okay? And we talk about this a lot, how powerful evil eye is and how important it is to protect yourself from it, because there will be people who know what you're going through and they speak all this bad shit over you. And that's kind of like what happened to her. I'm not feeling like it was a setup, but spiritually, in a way, she was haunted by these addictions. And being in a label, it's almost like spirit was trying to test her a little bit with this temptation that day. that whole day she was sober. I'm seeing her genuinely now, not completely sober, okay? Like it's kind of like when I be like, okay, like I'm not gonna smoke. I mean, I'm not gonna drink, but I kind of will just smoke a little more weed to just get through. It's like she did something else, but it's like it was still keeping her in a state of being vulnerable to whatever trauma led her to doing this. Okay, there's a trauma. There's like a trauma of I'm hearing sexual abuse. Okay, so I feel like there's been a couple of times where she was sexually abused, and it really hardened her. It really hardened her. And she was getting a lot of offers, okay? It's like, but these offers were from the devil is what I'm hearing. So it doesn't seem like she was meant to sign to this label because as I said, they supply their artists with any and everything that they want. That's what I'm hearing. Anything that they want. It's like, again, going back to that kid in the candy store energy. And she feels, when I was listening to her music, it's like a sense of pride. And I like her music. I listened to a couple of songs before channeling, and I do like it. I feel like she was talented. I feel like she would have done better as an independent artist. And there is a message here that she's saying to stay independent. And a lot of artists tell me, even Mac Miller told me, before you get into the industry, Juice WRLD as well, you have to heal your addictions because these labels, now there are labels where they prioritize sobriety out here, okay? That's what she's saying. Or there are lighter labels that she wished that she would have signed to. And she's almost like saying to me, I want to help you find that. Okay. So I feel like she likes my music as well. You know, these souls, they can still hear things. They can still check out things as well. And she's like, you all right. You know, it's like that vibe. Like you good. I would have, you good. You're not as bad as me, but you good. That's how her energy is. And I would never say that I'm like a rapper. You know, I'm just like an artist. I dabble in rap, but no, it's an art form in itself. And I feel like I respect people who have that, down pat. And I feel like she did. And that's why she garnered the attention. But the label, I keep being drawn to that. The label was contingent upon her success. Oh, wow. So I feel like, I don't think that when they say they're signed, I feel like there's like a prove yourself period. This stressed her the fuck out. Okay. It was like so much pressure. Cause I feel like when she would write or rap or, maybe she would, use something. Okay. Like not all the time though, because there's like a natural talent here, but I think there was like a thought form that if I sober up, I'm just going to realize how much I don't want this. Okay. Cause it's not ideal living in a label like that. The lifestyle is not ideal. Being around people who drink and smoke 24/7, being around people who do drug deals, being around people who are messy, being around people who are messaging about you behind your back. It was a lot of things, that she didn't really understand. Why? Okay, like why do I gotta wait? But I don't think she was the type to ask questions. She would though, and I think that's kind of what would like piss them off, because it's like, we got you, okay? Because I think that there's something about money here. I feel like money was not given to her verbatim. Maybe they would buy her the things, or she had a card with a limit or something, and they could monitor what she was buying. So it's like she was heavily monitored and heavily addicted. And when she's relapsing, I feel like she was only sober for about 48 hours. Yeah. And I've been through this so many times. Like, I completely understand this. And I feel like that's why she's coming through and saying, maybe some people felt like Gucci Man killed her or they sacrificed her. No. Sometimes stuff like this just happens, okay? And when I asked her if she wanted to do a spirit box, she said, I don't do all that, okay? So maybe her family wasn't really into stuff like this, but she knows that a fan is here. She knows that somebody who knows of her is listening. And she knows that this collective struggles, has struggled with addictions in their own ways. So she wants to come through 454 and say, it is truly about who you surround yourself with. Okay. She was surrounded with people who constantly encouraged her to drink, constantly encouraged her to party, constantly encouraged her to go out. And if she had have gotten sober, she would have left the label. That's what I'm hearing. 6 of Swords. Yep. She would have been gone because she had a higher calling over her life. She was meant to, I'm hearing minister, and she could have been somebody who was good at readings like me. Ministry is doing readings and speaking to people about how to heal and about your personal journey. And maybe people knew that about her. Like she was, I don't think she had tapped into it or mastered it quite yet, but there is a friend on the other side with her. I do feel like this is not Big Scar, but there's like a friend who maybe she left behind and they were just like, this friend, I don't know why this person gives me like bad energy. I feel like some people from home just hated her for excelling, and just were speaking things over her life. Because I'm hearing voodoo priestess. So maybe somebody did try to like root her back home, or if she had a jealous ex or exes, they tried to root her home. I don't know why I'm hearing that. So maybe because I'm seeing 2 men here, a King of Wands and a King of Pentacles. And I'm not sure if root magic can be like you, somebody who introduced you to that lifestyle. That's also something that I have recently had to close out was I had to go all the way back to the first person who ever sold me weed, who ever like allowed me to like come into that realm and basically cut cords with them. And I feel like she never cut cords with 2 people who introduced her to a certain way of living. So she was living like these people, but that's not really her nature at all. Yeah. She wasn't sloppy. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. I wasn't sloppy, but it's like I started to become sloppy and people would notice it. And that's why I was trying to get sober, because I'm seeing like people trying to wake her up sometimes in the bathroom. I'm seeing like people trying to wake her up or, girl, get up, get up. Okay, it's like, so, but what's sad about all of this is that I don't feel like nobody like really truly cared, or nobody tried, okay, to like really support her. And a lot of these artists out here are ODing quietly behind the scenes and being revived, okay? That's what I'm hearing, and put back out. It's happened to Justin Bieber a couple of times is what I'm hearing. And it's sad, it's really sad because it's so scary. Like there have been times where I would be scared to make money because of my addiction. I would be like, oh my gosh, like, and it would be like the devil and God at the same time trying to test me, that dark and light source energy. Like, okay, I'm sober and then I make like 200 and I'm like, it's like, I feel like that's something that happened. It's like, as soon as she quit, she got like a bonus or somebody hit her up and she just kind of took the bait. That's what I'm hearing. She took the bait. Yep. And she's saying, I'm sorry. Okay. So I feel like that's to her mother, because I feel like her mother tried to warn her about something, or her mother tried to warn her, you gotta come home sometimes. I'm not sure if her mother was like Haitian or like, cause I don't know why they're saying she's from Texas, but here it says she's from Germany. So I'm not sure if her family is foreign in some way. I'm hearing yes. Okay, so they had to be something. Somebody wanted her to come home. Stop living that life, okay? Because maybe somebody was watching her through other people's stories, or somebody's watching from afar and they're just like, they're like, they know her. It's like, I know my child or I know my friend. And yeah, somebody had a bad feeling. Okay. But she wants to clear that up. This was an accidental overdose, but with this, it's never really an accident. It's kind of like what Sloan Bella says, like when you're taking drugs, there's a knowing, there's an acknowledging from the higher self that this could kill you. So it's technically suicide. It's technically taking yourself out because you're voluntarily taking something that's going to throw you out of your body and put you in risk. Okay. So that's what happened. And she takes accountability, but also like, I do feel like there's somebody who knew to not sell her this and they did it anyway. And that person should be held accountable. The only reason I'm seeing that they should be is because they knew. Maybe she told them, if I hit you up, don't even respond. Okay, maybe it was that deep for her to where like she had to warn her dealers or something, or had to warn somebody, and I feel like they were just like, it's okay, like it's not going to be that big of a deal. This is something different, or yeah, this is something different or lighter. And I feel like, again, I don't think that she was in her right mind even when she got it. It was just kind of like, if she was sipping on something, it was kind of like, okay, I think I'm good to do this. Okay, so and then it's just like, fuck, but also like, I didn't know how I was going to get out of that anyway, because I'm hearing 360 deals. I'm not sure what that means, but I do hear people say that, and it apparently is not good to have that type of deal. But again, something was contingent upon how many sales she made, and I do feel like she did good, and she would get these rewards and payouts. And there was a fear of like, how am I going to maintain all of this money? I feel like all of the money is like... Everybody was like, let's go out all the time. Nobody wanted, and I don't blame them because it's like, it's fun. You know, it's fun in that moment, especially when you're like, I can just make it back. Okay, there's like a mindset, like there's no fear, you know, of losing money. So that lifestyle, it kind of brings out a part of you that can be very greedy. And she didn't know how to tame this part of her. So that's what she's saying. She doesn't really go into too much detail about Big Scar. I don't think that she's saying that she saw him before he passed away, and that ate her up. Okay, so it did eat her up when this person passed away. It really did. Because I feel like he passed away before her from addiction. And I think that the years following that, she felt she was okay. You know, they weren't like super close, but, you know, it's just, it lingers, you know, that energy around you. And I feel like there's like, oh, I'm not going to let that happen to me. I don't even think at the time that he passed that her addiction was bad. And as I said, it's not like it was like super terrible. I just feel like there's like a night of a bad choice. And that's why it's good to just not do anything like that, because you're taking a risk. So somebody needs to know that. I don't know if somebody has a party lifestyle, or somebody here maybe offered something soon. And it's just a test. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. Any addict listening, it's a test. If you quit something and then somehow you're given something for free, or that's like the enemy's last ploy, and they're probably going to try a couple of times, okay, after that, to see if you take the bait. And that's something that happened to her, and that's what she's saying. Okay. Let's see. Let me just ask her, would you like to do a spirit box session at this point? Would you like to come through? Okay. Let's see what she has to say. See, chanting, enchanting. What would you like to say to your fans or to the world, or just about everything, anything that you feel like I have missed? Somebody.
Common.
Somebody common.
Freshman. Certain.
Maybe she began something when she was a freshman. Maybe her addiction started when she was a freshman in high school or something. And she was certain that she was going to be able to stop. That's what I'm hearing. And it's common. It happens to everybody. And I'm hearing this song, Are You That Somebody? So I feel like what she's saying, maybe she can see that the connections, because as I talked about, I'm connected to a lot of musical souls from like back in the 90s and stuff. There's like a mentioning of Aaliyah here. I know that there's a rumor that Aaliyah was drugged before she got on the plane. So I'm not sure if they took the same thing. And if you guys have heard me talk about it, literally I've seen things like that in meditation. Before even knowing about anything, just being like, not being able to remember what happened before getting on the plane. She's bringing up something similar to this, like maybe it was a similar drug that was taken, but it just like knocks you out. It shuts down the system. I feel like also there are dealers who target freshmen. That's what I'm hearing. And that needs to be stopped. Dealers who post up at the high schools. That's how a lot of these children are overdosing from fentanyl and different things. These people need to die. Okay, that's what she's saying. Yeah, I'm hearing eye for an eye. Because they are also just as guilty for selling something that's going to kill somebody. Knowing that it's going to kill somebody.
Reaction.
Yeah, she had a bad reaction. She had a bad reaction to whatever this is. Again, I feel like her throat was closing up at different times. It's so sad. Because it can just, at any moment, you know. I was even lucky to get out of that, doing what I did. And I was drinking that night too. And all I could literally think about was how shocking it would be to everybody, because I don't normally do that. I don't normally do that drug. And I'm keep hearing her say that. I didn't normally do whatever this was. So there's like a little bit of an embarrassment, because I feel like she would do certain things, but whatever she was caught in her system, that wasn't her norm. She was just trying to get clean off of everything that she was doing. But the environment, it matters. That's what she's saying. So there was like a part of her that was like, how could I stop? You know, it's if I stop, I'm not going to be one of them type of energy.
Enormous.
It was an enormous amount, okay? As I said, somebody sold her more than what they were supposed to. And I don't like this person's energy. They feel shady to me. They feel like a reaper, like literally. But that would make sense that drug dealers are reapers, right? That would make sense. Yeah, there's like an enormous supply of a lot of different things that these artists can access. These darker labels, okay? Especially these ones that promote the type of music that she was doing. Is that all of what you would like to say? Okay, there's a little more that's coming out, so I'm going to give her a little bit more time. I feel like I'm hearing her say she needs a little bit more prayer too, so I'm going to light some candles for her. Because souls who pass away that way, it's almost like, it's like, like that. You know, it's like one bad decision. She had her whole life ahead of her, and I feel like she still holds on to that. So whoever brought her to my attention, I thank you, because she's kind of been in a little bit of a purgatory and she needs to be set free so that her family can receive her music. I feel like somebody has her music on lock and key or something that she recorded. Okay, that's a confirmation.
Last.
Yeah, there was no way. I'm hearing there was no way I was going to make it last. Okay, somebody told her you can make it last. Okay, somebody sold her something in bulk. No, never do that to an addict. No. Yep.
Earnings.
Yeah. It's almost like they would pay these artists in drugs. I'm not even kidding you guys. Remember I said that she couldn't get something until she proved herself, but it's like they would keep these artists distracted with a certain lifestyle, and that's why I feel like it's bad, because it's dangerous. You can't live like that every weekend.
Old.
Yeah, she started to feel old. She started to feel decrepit. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. She felt like old. And that's how drugs make you feel. You start looking old in the face and shit. Even alcohol does that to you.
Bro.
Yeah. And I wanted to grow. I wanted to grow so bad. But there's no way that she was going to be able to grow in this label. She was going to have to leave. And as I said, somebody was going to make that hard for her. Or, yeah. That's all I'm hearing. They were going to make it hard for her. And she could feel that. So I feel like she was just like, fuck it. There's like a thought.
Veronica.
Okay, somebody named Veronica is important. I'm hearing label manager. So maybe Veronica was somebody she called to talk to about this. Somebody who was, no. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Somebody she called.
Muscle.
Yeah, she was dealing with muscle weakness or something. Dramatically. Yeah, this affected her dramatically.
Colin.
Okay, there's a name Colin. I'm seeing like different white people, okay, who are like higher up, who are sober.
Clothes.
They go through her stuff. Put something there. I don't know why I'm hearing put something there. I think she saw that they had... like that people always had eyes on her, higher ups or something. They watch the artist or something. These people are dark too, because they are like occultists. Wow. So I feel like, I don't know if this is in the spirit world or what though. I'm hearing, yeah.
Whispers grow.
So you know how they say like a business is an entity?
Stranger.
It's true. It's like, this label, literally, when she joins it, something latches onto her in the spirit world and is constantly whispering things to her. It's like even when you take a certain drug, it's a spirit attached to it and it can tell you things, and that's what she's bringing up. And she's saying, yeah, you're no stranger to it. And I'm hearing when you know better, you do better. Okay, so she's telling me that to continue to know better, to do better. Maybe some temptation is about to come my way soon. So I appreciate that warning. Yeah, because it doesn't matter. You're never in control. And that's what I realized, like my last relapse. It doesn't matter. I'm never in control when I drink. Never. I'm not. As soon as I take a sip, I am open to something. I can pray for protection. That protection may be there. But once I veer off into like the 3 shots or 3 drinks, they can't help me anymore. No angel, no angelic being is going to be able to come in that dimension. I talk about this. The only people who are going to be able to be there is your ancestors. And she's making me feel like that's the only reason I survived that night. When your ancestors protect you. She didn't really, she wasn't, it's like her ancestors were around her, but again, you have to build a relationship with your team. You have to start speaking with them. You have to create a portal for them to work through. This is what altars are for. And she is saying that is important to have an altar of protection, especially when you're somebody who is a light in this world, which is what she was supposed to be. I'm hearing she was supposed to be as big as JT is now, or the City Girls or something. She was already getting there. Like, people love her. I'm hearing I had to pay the piper. There's a little more that's coming out. I feel like she was like that too. Like, she have to really see if you get her to open up. But she wasn't the type to like open up to just anybody at all. No, you people may have felt like they knew her, but nobody really truly knew her. I didn't even get to see when her birthday was. October 9th, is that Libra? Yeah. Okay, so she's an air sign too. Yeah, Libras can be like that. Yeah, it's like it's like you make everybody feel like they got a piece of you, but and you know, I do feel like everybody had her in that way. I feel like she could be a little bit impressionable, like because she was really young when she was introduced to the lifestyle. So, but she still had a mind of her own to the point, because I don't think that nobody around her was trying to get sober in the ways that she was at all. She knew that something wasn't right.
Running through time.
Running through time. Yeah, I feel like that's the thing that us addicts we struggle with is all the hours in the day.
Yank.
You know, once we get sober, it feels like something is constantly yanking you back. That's how she felt. It's like all the hours of the day were intimidating to her. Because once you live your life like that, it's hard to stop.
None.
Yeah. I'm here. I didn't have none. No one. To really explain this to. Because again, you know, when you're around a bunch of people who do it all the time, they're looking at you like, what's your problem? I've had people tell me constantly, it's okay to just do it every here and there. And I'm not mad at them for saying that, but it's like when God is calling you, they're calling you. You can't be friends with God and the devil at the same time.
So dark.
It's so dark, yeah. You feel like you're cheating. And I know any former addict or current addict listening knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Through these echoes.
Through these echoes. I can hear you through these echoes. So I feel when she transitions, it's like a lot of like chatter, like it's just like because I feel like she was definitely somebody who was very I'm hearing the word like sinister. Okay, so she could have a dark side to her, and that is why she went to hell. Okay, that is what I'm hearing. I know that nobody really wants to hear that, but that is what I'm hearing. She went there. She doesn't belong there, but that is where she went. Okay, I have to say that this is alleged. I'm a channeler, but this is what I'm feeling from her energy. And a lot of people get tricked into going to hell when they pass away through overdose or addiction, because it's going against your divine nature to take yourself out in that way. And that's why people who do take their lives, it's like a sense of regret, okay? Because all you're going back to is the trauma that took you out in the first place, okay? And I feel like the chatter is where she's taken first. So the gossip around her, people who knew her to be a certain way.
October.
Okay, October. Something about October. Something about October here. When did she pass away? Her birthday. Okay, something about her birthday.
Now gone.
I think she really liked celebrating. And now she's gone, okay? Her birthday was in October. I think that had she have stayed sober to her birthday, she would have been able to leave the label. Because she passed in June, so it would have been like she would have had to been like a couple of months sober to break the contract in the spirit.
Abnormal.
But it would have been very abnormal, okay? Because they would have started to look at her like, what are you doing? As I said, these people, they want you to be intoxicated. They want you to be like that because they are doing things behind the scenes to basically take your cut, okay? They're banking on you not being there so that they can...
Be warned.
Yep. She's saying be warned, okay? Artist. So if you're sober...
Neighborhood.
If you're sober now and you're trying to find a label, you're going to find a better match. But if you're looking while you're doing addictions, you're going to call in a label that feeds into that. That's what she's saying. Something about neighborhood here. The neighborhood she would grow. Neighborhoods. I'm hearing the neighborhood she would visit. To get drugs were very sketchy too. Yeah. She was just living this very like lavish but sinister lifestyle. Okay, I'll continue to let you come through. I'm hearing it's the weed too, okay? The weed as well. And that's also something that Spirit has been like pushing me to let go of completely. Because it's like, it's okay to do weed when you're healing, like, or if you have to cleanse and purge yourself. But if you're just doing it consistently all the time, you're just now open to whatever. So she was heavily influenced by different things because of not just drugs, but weed as well, if she was smoking. So there's a warning about weed here. Definitely being a gateway drug. People will argue that it's not, but we talking to the people who have attachments, who have things where if you live a certain way, it's going to bring out an entity or something that you've been dealing with for a while now. And I feel like she had attachments on her from this lifestyle.
Ocean.
Something about the ocean. I don't know why I'm here. I can't swim. So maybe they were planning to go to the beach. Maybe she was planning to go to a trip before she passed away. She never made it to this trip.
Not gone.
Not gone.
Oracle.
Yes, I am an oracle. They say that. Yes.
Never.
I'm hearing I'm not gone. I never will be. I live in the hearts of many people. And she's gone. That's what she wanted to leave off with. So I feel like there's like a, that's where she wants to leave it off with. I'm not gone and I never will be. My music lives forever. Okay? I'll see you guys at the next one. Peace out.